Hello, everybody. My name is Fedor. I'm a pastor, one of our church here in Buffalo, New York. I came many years ago from Belarus. This is my home country. And today I would say thank you to this church from Nepali. And they invite me here to share my testimony, how I've been saved by the Jesus Christ in my life. Back in the years, in my age when I was 17, I don't know about a God much. I left my house with a group of the boys and my age, and we left another country. And we provide a life the way we want it, the way the street teaches actually. And very shortly after, like 4 or 5 months, we lost one of my best friend and a cousin. And was really touching my life personally. And I was so angry back in the years. And I really asking so many questions why that's happened in my life. And I started denying the God. And actually, I was really go against the people who knows the God or like a teenage and my age. I can cross the street from them. I don't want to even talk to them. And then when we got home, very shortly, like a month or two later, I was joined the military for a few years, for a couple of years actually. And then to bring more story how God found me personally and saved me when I was back in the college after the military. And I was dating one is a beautiful girl. Today she's my wife. And we've been dating almost 3 years. And basically, like normally people, we've been good friends, and then we become dating, being more close and close, and we decide to get married. And everything was set up, and we was thinking as a great, we love each other, we gotta be get the wedding, but it wasn't my plan. But in that moment, the God's plan was different. And the Bible say, my way, it's not your way. My plan is not your plan. And almost when we set up the wedding, and my girl, that time, she started disappearing every Sunday. And I started kind of worried what happened. And she was scared, actually, to tell me that she started go somewhere like a church. It was something very, very against what I was going that time. But one Sunday she just say, we can't do anymore like being very close to each other, because I go to the church and I accepted Christ in my life. And that was a nightmare for me. Right there in that moment, I don't know what to do even. And first thing I was trying somehow to take her away from the church. And I was talking to her, I say, what you found there? There's old people. They're singing in old songs or something. It's no fun over there. Our life is completely, we're gonna be changed. I say, no, we gotta stop going to that church. And then second Sunday, she was crying and say, please come with me to the church. And I say, okay, let's go. And I wanna see what happened over there. When I was attending that time church, and I knew that's it. It's the last time, and I gotta somehow to get her away from that church. I come to the place where we used to live, and I ask my friends, they're not Christian. I say, I got a big trouble right now. They ask me, what happened? I say, my girl, she started attending church, which is really, I don't like it. And they say, what's the difference to be in the church or know the God or if you don't want to be over there? And basically, they ask me a question, what you got to be changing in your life? I say, I got to stop drinking. I got to stop smoking probably, and talking normally like a people, without any those curse words. And I was expecting they're going to help me and say, just leave this girl alone and provide your life the way we live. But I was here the opposite way. They say, don't do that. Just don't ever leave this girl, because you guys love each other for so long and you gotta get married. And they say, that's okay, you can change your life. This was the first my step, and I didn't found anything, somebody support me in my way. And there you go. Here's the next Sunday. They invite me back to the church. And I say, I probably will go there last time and will never go back to the church again. And when we go to the church, and they've been praying actually, and we were sitting on a balcony. And end of the service, there was a Baptist church in Belarus actually, and city is the Brest. And I was sitting on a balcony, and those two girls next to me on the left and the right side. End of the service, and a pastor stood and said, "There's a person right now in the balcony. The God speak to my heart." He said, "The person on the balcony, he's tied and chained. The Satan tied him in chain. And today it's your day." I don't understand what he was talking about. And those two girls next to me, they said, "Don't you understand? He's calling for you. This is your time." I said, "No." And by the time we was thinking about it, and they basically stood and hold me, and I have no other choice like just stand it up. And he point his arm to me and say, "This is the person. God showed me this is the person, and your day is today." And I say, "No, it's impossible for me. I'm not ready. I don't know the God much. And my life, it was hurt before." And I say, "No way I can turn myself to the God in this moment." But at the same time, they've been crying. They've been saying, "Let's go down from balcony." And basically, I will start a walk from the balcony on the stairs. But in my mind, the Satan attacking me badly that moment, and he told me, "Look at this." He showed me for a few seconds my previous life before, and what's the life is gonna be if I will accept the Christ in my life. And he simple tell me in my mind, he say, "You sure guy, and you walk downstairs on the stairs, and you simple just make a right again, and you free out of the church, and you don't need this God. You don't need to see these older people in the church." And I was thinking that way. Here's a moment. Nobody knows what I was thinking in my heart. So they've been so happy because they're thinking I'm going downstairs from the balcony, and I'll be walking to the stage up front where the pastor was stood. And I was thinking the other way. Get to the door and free again. And in the last moment, when I try to turn right to the door, right there in the corner was stood the older lady, like we call Russian babushka. She stood in a corner and I cry and I pray and I cry and I cry, and I heard in the moment that she say, "God, don't let him go from this church to outside." And that moment, I knew inside my heart, nobody know what I was thinking about it. How she knows what I want to do it in my life in that moment. And that prayer, this lady break my heart. I stop right there and I say, I don't understand how she knows what I want to do right in this second, in that moment. And walk outside, I turn left. I walked to the front over there, and I heard spiritually, I heard in my heart, those chain was like drop it right there on the floor. It's spiritually, and I hear this, it's kind of like a noise. I say, there's something more going on here. And I walk on the stage, and I accept my Christ that moment, and everybody was cry in the church. We give the hug. We just so enjoy to accept the Christ. This was my first time. I never cry in my life. I always been so happy. And that moment, I was a cry like a baby. I accept the Christ. My heart was completely changed. My mind was different too. And we started hug to each other right there on the stage. And right there in that moment, the young pastor in that church, he come to me and say, "Who's that girl?" I say, "We almost about to get married." And I think at that moment, I was understood. If he say something that you cannot be close to each other, I'll probably walk away from that church in that moment. But God was talk to him, and he come to me and say, I think you need to get married soon as possible. And everything was support me the way I wanted. And I was so happy accepting the Christ in that moment. And we've been probably the happiest people in the world. And I come back to the place after the church where we live. And my friends, they say, what happened? I say, I accepted Christ. And believe it or not, that people, my friends, not Christian, they support me. And every time they say, Fedor, you can't do this, you can't touch this, they kind of help me to be the safe. And I'm glad today that I accepted Christ many, many years ago. As soon as after that, we moved to the United States. And today I am a pastor, one of beautiful Russian church, Ukrainian church that we all together over there, and I provide a service for 16 years already. And I can say many things in my life, how God helped me, saved me, provide my life, bless me today. And I'm probably the happiest man in the world to know the God, to know the Jesus, to walk through my life with his name. And he stopped me many years ago, and I cannot say that he's not next to me. I don't believe to be like a religious. I believe to the real Christ today, and he's next to me. He's in me, and I walking with him through my life. And we've been married back in the years. Same girl. We've been married and have 4 children today. It's probably the best blessing the family than I am thinking of. It's not because she's my wife. We've been together because the God blessed me. I follow his way. He blessed me. He keep blessing me today in the service. And I want to really share this testimony with the people. If you ever choose better life, this is the Christ. Walk with him. He always help you. He always bless you. And he always promise and give you eternal life. And this is kind of my shared testimony today with the people who understand English. Probably I'll be share like in Russian a little bit, and Ukrainian people, and anybody can hear this testimony. Please understand, with God, it's way better than I was atheist. I was denied a God before. I was trying to live my life the way I wanted. But today, I have the Word of God, I have the way to go, and I'm happy just like anybody else accepting the Christ in your life. I thank you so much to everybody to listen to this testimony. God bless you, God save you, and walk with the Christ. He's the only way, he's the only the truth, he's the only the life. And be with the Christ. It's the best probably in the life. God bless you all.